Over the past 6 months, the world of AI robotics has exploded with groundbreaking advancements, and today, we're diving into the most incredible updates. If you remember, our first video covering advancements in the first half of 2024 was a massive hit, with over 2 million views. And now it's time for part 2. From robots with human-like brains and real muscles to upgrades in well-known names like AMECA and Figure 2, there's so much to cover. And today, I've got a special guest joining me for the intro.
Hey everyone, it's so great to be back. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm fully back now, and I can't wait to bring you fresh content and new videos on my channel. But for now, I'm here to help kick off this exciting video with all the amazing updates coming out of the AI robotics world.
We'll look at robots that get smarter with every move they make, just trying to keep up with me, I guess. Then we'll explore the first water-powered AI humanoid, and even touch on fully autonomous robots like the new Atlas. Plus, we'll uncover shocking developments in synthetic AI humans and discuss what this means for the future of robotics, including updates from Tesla's Optimus and even some unexpected innovations inspired by nature.
And trust me, it's going to be amazing. I'm excited for what's ahead, both in this video and back on my channel, so stay tuned for my new content. You won't want to miss it.
It's a packed lineup of jaw-dropping progress. Let's get started. All right, guys, let's talk about the insane pace of AI and robotics development lately. It's been moving fast, real fast, but what's happening in China right now is on a whole other level. They've created an AI robot that's unlike anything we've seen before. And trust me, when I first heard about this, my mind was blown. Let's cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase!
This isn't your average robot with a silicon brain. Nah, these mad scientists have gone and given it a brain made from actual living cells. You're not mishearing me. We're talking about a robot with a partially biological brain. They've crossed a line that many thought was uncrossable, redefining the very essence of artificial intelligence. Now, before you start picturing some kind of cyborg monstrosity, let me paint you a clearer picture. They're calling this thing a brain on a chip. Sounds pretty futuristic, right? Well, it kinda is. Instead of relying on traditional computer circuits, these researchers have grown teeny tiny brain cells in a lab and plopped them onto a microchip. With surgical precision, they've transplanted the essence of human cognition into the cold heart of a machine, kickstarting a whole new era of smart machines. But here's where it gets really trippy. Our brains, right? They're these complex networks of neurons all firing and connecting. Somehow, these absolute geniuses have managed to recreate that on this tiny chip. Now let's rewind a bit and talk about how they actually pulled this off. It all starts with stem cells, the superheroes of the cell world. These little guys can transform into pretty much any cell in your body. It's like cellular shape-shifting. So these scientists took these stem cells and essentially said, today you're gonna be brain cells, and somehow they actually managed to do it. They coaxed these cells into growing into this intricate network of brain cells, mimicking what you'd find in a human brain. Then, in a move that probably made every sci-fi writer jealous, they stuck this cellular brain onto a special microchip. And just like that, robot brain. Now you might be thinking this is cool and all, but why should we care? Well, let me tell you, this is a game changer. Most AI we deal with today is based on computer programs, right? It's all coded and pre-programmed, but this is a whole different ball game. This robot can actually learn and adapt like a living creature. It's not just following a set of instructions, it's experiencing things and changing based on what it learns. It's closer to how our brains work than any AI we've seen before.
It's beautiful.
If you had to guess, what's it look like?
Like it's thinking.
The implications of this are huge. Just take a second to consider the possibilities. Think about how this could revolutionize our understanding of the brain itself.
Artificial intelligence.
By studying these lab-grown brain networks, we might uncover new ways to tackle neurological diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. It's not just cool science, it's potentially life-changing stuff. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This tech, as amazing as it is, also opens up a whole can of worms when it comes to ethics. We're entering uncharted territory here. At what point does a robot with a living brain become, well, alive? It's not just a philosophical question anymore. It's something we might actually have to grapple with in the near future. Now, I can almost hear some of you freaking out. Skynet, anyone? Are we on the brink of a robot uprising? Relax, we're not quite there yet. This is still early days, and there's a lot of work to be done before we see this tech out in the wild. But it does mean we need to start having serious conversations about the implications of this technology. The thing is, this isn't just about creating smarter machines. It's about blurring the lines between artificial and biological intelligence. We're talking about a future where the boundaries between AI and biotechnology start to disappear. It's exciting, it's a little scary, and it's definitely going to change the world as we know it. But here's the thing, with all this potential comes a huge responsibility.
Are you afraid that I'm gonna turn into some kind of criminal? Quit worrying about me, okay?
We're not just talking about technological advancement here, we're talking about potentially redefining what it means to be alive, to be conscious. These are big, heavy concepts that we as a society need to wrestle with. But that's the nature of progress, isn't it? It pushes us out of our comfort zones, forces us to confront new realities, and while it can be daunting, it's also incredibly exciting. Now, interestingly, Jeff Bezos and SoftBank have invested a staggering $300 million in a startup called Skilled AI. Now, it seems these folks aren't going for the whole lab-grown human cells brain in a robot thing. Instead, they're aiming to build a full-on artificial brain from the ground up. They say they're pioneering what they call a robot brain, which is about crafting a general-purpose AI brain that can be installed in any robot, making it capable of performing complex and varied tasks without needing specific programming for each task. Skilled AI, led by some brilliant minds from Carnegie Mellon, envisions a future where robots can handle adverse physical conditions or perform dexterous manipulations in industrial and household environments. They're pushing the envelope towards developing artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which aims to achieve human-like intelligence in robots. Now, there's actually another breakthrough in robotics, maybe not as crazy as human brains in robots, but still pretty wild. An Indian company's just jumped into the robot game, and they're not messing around. So Zen Technologies and their partner AI Turing Technologies have cooked up this four-legged robot. They're calling it Prahasta, which is apparently some badass warrior from Hindu mythology. And let me tell you, this thing's no joke. Picture this. A robot dog, but instead of fetching your slippers, it's carrying an assault rifle. Yeah, this isn't Boston Dynamics parkour bot. This thing's built for defense. Now, Prahasta's got some seriously cool tech under the hood. It uses something called LiDAR, which is like radar but with lasers to scan its surroundings. And it's got AI that helps it understand the terrain and plan missions. These guys released a video showing off what Prahasta can do, and it's pretty impressive. This robot's climbing stairs like it's nothing with a gun strapped to its back. It's hopping over obstacles and gaps like some kind of mechanical gazelle. And get this, they say it can even pick up a fully grown adult. I'm talking about a robot dog that can fireman carry a 180-pound person, which could be potentially life-saving in dangerous situations. If this robot gets knocked over, it can get right back up on its own. They're calling it auto-resurrection, which sounds pretty dramatic, but when you see it in action, it's hard not to be impressed. Now, they've also unveiled Barbaric URCWS. It's basically a remote-controlled weapon station that they're claiming is the lightest in the world, and it's not just for land. They're saying it can be used on ships, too. The folks at Zen are pretty hyped about all this. Their big boss, Ashok Atluri, is talking about how these robots are going to change the game for defense operations. He thinks this is going to make people sit up and take notice of how important robotics could be in combat and recon missions. It's worth noting that Zen's not new to this game. They've been in the defense tech business for a while, making things like anti-drone systems and combat simulators. In fact, they've shipped out over 1,000 simulators and training systems worldwide. So, what does all this mean? Well, we're looking at a future where robots aren't just in factories or delivering packages. We're talking about robots that could be on the front lines. But of course, just like with the brain chip robots, this raises some big questions. How much autonomy should we give to armed robots? What are the ethical implications of using AI in defense? These are heavy topics we're going to have to wrestle with as this tech keeps advancing. A brand new humanoid robot called Figure 02 just got the internet's attention. It is backed by OpenAI and some other huge names in tech like Nvidia, Microsoft, and even Jeff Bezos' private fund. So, yeah, it's pretty big. All right, so let's get into it. Figure, the company behind this robot, just dropped a teaser video for their latest model, Figure 02. The video is short, like seriously short, but it's packed with some really interesting details if you look closely. So let's check out the video first, and then I'll break down everything you need to know. All right, so we see some robotic joints, limbs, and these futuristic-looking flexible mesh designs that are probably part of the robot's body. And if you're into specs, they even tease torque ratings up to 150 Newton meters. To break it down, that's basically a measure of how much force the robot can exert when it's moving something. There's also something about a ROM, or range of motion up to 195 degrees, which is kind of a big deal in the world of robotics. Now, Brett Adcock, the founder of Figure, and this guy is not new to wild tech startups. He's also behind Archer Aviation, and Vettery posted on Twitter, or X as it's called now, that Figure 02 is the most advanced humanoid robot on the planet. Bold claim, right? But with the backing they've got, it's hard not to take him seriously. So let's rewind a bit. Figure as a company only started in 2022, which is like yesterday in startup terms. And they've already got a lot of people talking. They came out of nowhere in March 2023 with their first model, Figure 01, which was aimed at tackling global labor shortages. The idea is that these robots can step in to do jobs that are unsafe or just plain boring for humans, like working in warehouses, factories, and retail. And get this, they built their first full-scale humanoid robot in just 6 months. 6 months, people. That's insane. They've got a team of 40 experts, including their CTO, Dr. Jerry Pratt, who's a big name in the robotics world. Their vision is pretty clear. Make robots that boost productivity, make workplaces safer, and get this, they've promised they'll never weaponize these robots. So they're really going for that good guy angle. What's also cool is they've already inked a deal with BMW manufacturing, so we might be seeing these robots in action sooner rather than later. And to top it off, Figure 01 had some impressive integration with OpenAI's GPT-4V model, which is like the top of the line AI tech right now.
Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
So you can bet Figure 02 will be packing some even newer AI models when it drops on August 6th, 2024. Now, Figure isn't the only one in the game. The race to bring AI-powered humanoid robots into our homes and workplaces is heating up. You've got Elon Musk out there saying there's going to be a market for over 10 billion, yes, billion with a B humanoid robots. He's working on his own robot, Tesla Optimus, which is basically going to be a competitor to Figure. And then there's NVIDIA, who's been showing off some pretty wild stuff with their Project GR00T using Apple Vision Pro headsets to help train AI robots through teleoperators. Oh, and don't forget Boston Dynamics. Those guys have been in the game for a while, and they're working on their own humanoid robot too, upgrading their Atlas model with electric motors to make it cheaper and more reliable. Now, another really interesting development in the world of AI and robotics is coming from a startup called Oxford Dynamics, based in Harwell, Oxfordshire. They're working on a robot called Strider, and this thing is specifically designed to venture into some of the most dangerous environments known to man. We're talking about places where chemical, biological, or even nuclear threats are present. Basically, situations where you really wouldn't want to send a human. Now, Oxford Dynamics isn't just playing around here. They've already landed a £1 million contract with the UK Ministry of Defence, MOD, to design, develop, and supply these robots. The idea is, instead of risking human lives, why not send in a machine that can handle the job? Mike Lawton, one of the directors at the company, is thinking big. He's talking about building hundreds, maybe even thousands of these Strider robots in the future, all with the goal of making the world a safer place. So what exactly can Strider do? Well, this robot is pretty versatile. It's got a long, multi-jointed arm that can take readings, collect samples, and retrieve contaminated objects. And it moves around on these tank-like treads, which means it's built to handle rough, unpredictable terrain. Think about how tough it would be for a human in a hazmat suit to navigate a place like that. Strider can do it without breaking a sweat. Well, if robots could sweat. The company started working on Strider in November, and they've got until September to deliver the finished product to the Defense Science and Technology Laboratory. They're hoping Strider can be used in scenarios like the 2018 Novichok attack in Salisbury, where dealing with contaminated objects was a serious challenge. This robot could swoop in, grab those dangerous items, and secure them in sealed containers, all while performing tasks that would be really difficult for humans. But Oxford Dynamics isn't stopping there. They're planning to integrate their AI software into Strider, and they're calling it AVIS, which stands for a Very Intelligent System. That sounds a bit like Jarvis from Iron Man. You're spot on. That's exactly what inspired them.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome home, son.
The possibilities here are endless. Shefali Sharma, one of the founders, even mentioned that this tech could be adapted for use in submarines or fighter jets in the future. For these guys, seeing this technology get into the hands of people who truly need it is the ultimate goal. Shefali said it would be a dream come true to see Strider out there making a real difference. And it's not just the startup that's excited. Ewan Davies from DEFRA, the UK Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, mentioned in a statement that it's great to see these concepts rapidly turning into a highly capable and flexible platform. So just like Figure is pushing the boundaries of what humanoid robots can do, Oxford Dynamics is showing us how AI and robotics can literally save lives by stepping into the most hazardous situations on Earth. It's a thrilling time for technology, and it's going to be fascinating to see how both of these projects evolve in the near future. So yeah, the competition is fierce, but with the kind of momentum Figure has, plus the backing of some of the biggest names in tech, they seem like they're in a really strong position to keep pushing forward. I can't wait to see what this Figure 02 is really capable of when it's fully revealed. So let's talk about robots, specifically humanoid robots powered by AI, and explore all the exciting developments that were showcased at the 2024 World Robot Conference in Beijing. And trust me, there is a lot to unpack from this event. We're talking game-changing innovations, cutting-edge technology, and the latest in AI advancements. So let's get into it. All right, so first, let's set the stage. The World Robot Conference is kind of a big deal in the tech world. Think of it as the Oscars for robotics. It takes place every year in Beijing, and it's where the latest and greatest in robotic technology is put on display. This year, the conference was bigger and better than ever, attracting 169 exhibitors from all over the globe, showing off more than 600 innovative products. And here's the kicker. There were a record-high 27 humanoid robots featured this year. Yeah, humanoid robots are becoming a major focal point in the robotics field, and the hype is real. So, why all the buzz around humanoid robots? Well, there's a growing interest in how AI can be integrated into robots that look and move like humans. These aren't standard robots that you might see in factories. These are androids designed to interact with us in a more natural, human-like way. The idea is that these robots could eventually perform tasks just like, or even better than, humans. And it's not just about replacing humans, it's about collaborating with us, especially in environments that are dangerous or require heavy labor. A great example from the conference is the Unitree G1. This is a two-legged humanoid robot standing about 1.3 meters tall and weighing around 35 kilograms. It's sleek, it looks futuristic, and it's packed with some pretty advanced tech. The Unitree G1 can move at a speed of 2 meters per second and has advanced 3-finger force control hands, which means it can handle objects delicately and precisely. It's also got a maximum knee joint torque of 120 Newton meters, so it's pretty strong for its size. What really sets the Unitree G1 apart is its Robot Unified Large Model, which is a fancy way of saying that it has a robust AI system that allows it to learn and refine its skills continuously. This model was launched this year, and it's already making waves. Priced at around 99,000 yuan, or about $13,874 US, it's actually quite affordable considering its advanced capabilities. According to Huang Jiawei, the marketing director at Unitree, this robot isn't just designed to look impressive, it's built to be highly functional in a variety of practical applications. That's why it's already being adopted by numerous labs and companies. Now, at the conference, Shenzhen-based UBTECH Robotics showed off some of their robots that are currently deployed on automotive production lines. These robots aren't just for show, they are doing real work: intelligent transportation, quality inspection, and even handling chemicals. It's a big step forward for the large-scale application of humanoid robots in manufacturing. According to Greg G., the lead on UBTECH's humanoid robot motion control algorithm team, their robots currently operate at about 20% of human efficiency. Now that might not sound super impressive at first, but here's the thing. They expect to reach nearly 100% efficiency within the next 1 to 2 years. And remember, robots can work 24/7 without breaks. This means their overall efficiency could soon surpass that of human workers. The integration of AI models has accelerated the development of humanoid robots. As G mentioned, we're looking at a future where robots and humans are going to be working side by side more often, especially in environments that are risky or involve heavy-duty tasks. Essentially, robots that can help you with heavy lifting or perform tasks that are too dangerous for humans. That's the direction we're heading in, and it's pretty exciting. Another standout from the conference was the Tiangong, an embodied AI robot. Now, what do they mean by embodied AI? Simply put, it's AI with a physical form, an AI that doesn't just exist in the cloud or on a server somewhere, but is integrated into a robot that can interact with the physical world. The Tiangong was a big hit at the event because it showcased some pretty advanced capabilities. It could engage in conversations, respond to voice commands, and even grasp and place objects in designated spots. Xi Jinping, the team leader from the Beijing Embodied Artificial Intelligence Robotics Innovation Center, explained that embodied AI helps bridge the gap between the digital and physical worlds. Just think about it. An AI that can move around on its own and interact intelligently with its surroundings opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. Imagine heading to a concert and a humanoid robot guides you to your seat, fetches your favorite snack, or even helps you navigate through the crowd. That's the kind of future embodied AI is aiming for, and the Tiangong robot is a big step in making that vision a reality. Other impressive presentations at the 2024 World Robot Conference in Beijing included a Tencent's four-legged robot dog. Now, if you've ever seen a robot dog before, you might think, okay, big deal. But this one's on a whole different level. It doesn't just walk, it can run, jump, and even perform backward somersaults. It's super agile and could go places a human or even a regular robot couldn't reach. Then we got Alibaba's new logistics robot. Now, logistics might not sound super exciting at first, but this robot is designed for last-mile delivery, which is a huge challenge in the e-commerce world. It's like your own little autonomous delivery guy that can navigate complex urban environments without any human intervention. Then, there was a robot that totally captivated the audience, a robot that can play the Chinese dulcimer. And not just playing like a simple tune, it learned to play this complex instrument in just 2 to 3 days, which is insane. This kind of skill acquisition shows just how far AI learning has come. Next up, we've got a robot that really blurs the lines between human and machine. A humanoid robot that mimics human facial expressions in real time. It's designed to look like a young man and can perfectly replicate its partner's facial expressions. Now, we can't forget about the medical sector. There were several presentations featuring advanced medical robots that are designed for surgical precision. Using AI to assist with surgeries can greatly reduce the margin for human error and improve outcomes for patients. Agriculture also got some love at the conference with robots designed for the field, literally. These agricultural robots are capable of tasks like planting, weeding, and harvesting, which could majorly cut down labor costs and boost efficiency on farms. We're talking about robots that could help address food security by optimizing farming processes. Now, this next one's pretty interesting. Wison Technologies showed off their innovative pliable robotic arms. Instead of the usual motors, these arms use 3D printed plastics and pneumatic artificial muscles, making them way cheaper to produce, like 1/10 the cost of traditional robotic arms. This could make high-quality robotic tech accessible to a lot more industries. And then there's the Walker S Light robot from UBTECH Robotics. This one's an industrial humanoid robot that's already at work in car factories. It's helping with everything from quality testing to sorting parts, working right alongside human workers to improve efficiency on the production line. And lastly, we saw the debut of the Robot Blue Book, an extensive report that dives deep into the Chinese robotics industry and its potential. It's kind of like a roadmap for the future of robotics, outlining development trends and opportunities. For anyone interested in the business side of robotics, this is a must-read. Now, while there are some incredible advancements, there are still challenges to overcome in the robotics industry. For instance, at the conference, Yi Gang, founder of Shanghai-based T5 Robot, highlighted some of the problems in the current robotics supply chain. Product reliability is actually one of the biggest issues. Due to high defect rates, companies like his can only produce up to 1,000 units at a time. And let's not forget about the key components like harmonic gears, which are crucial for motion control in robots but still face quality and reliability issues. Also, Wison Technology, another player in the robotics field, is doing something pretty unique. They're using 3D printed plastics and pneumatic artificial muscles instead of the traditional motors and reducers for their robotic arms. This makes their robots much cheaper to produce, about 1/10 the cost of traditional robotic arms, which could be a game changer for affordability in the industry. According to Chao Wei from Lanchi Ventures, who has invested in Wison, these pliable robotic arms could potentially be used in humanoid robots in the future. But in any case, China is pushing hard to become a global leader in this field. As mentioned by Marina Bill, president of the International Federation of Robotics, China's manufacturing capabilities and supply chain strength are really tough to match, even for some of the most developed countries. There's also a big focus on developing new productive forces in technology. As Premier Li Qiang highlighted, the robot industry has broad prospects and massive market potential. The government is calling for efforts to promote the expansion and popularization of robots across various fields: industry, agriculture, and even services. Essentially, AI has ushered in the iPhone moment for humanoid robots. Think about it. Just like the iPhone revolutionized the smartphone industry, AI is set to revolutionize robotics. We're getting closer than ever to making the dream of fully integrated humanoid robots a reality. The plan is to establish a production capacity of over 10,000 embodied AI robots by the end of 2026, according to Kong Lei from the Beijing Economic Technological Development Area Administrative Committee. That's a pretty ambitious goal, but given the rapid pace of development we're seeing, it seems totally possible. Okay, so remember when we talked about the Figure 02 robot a few days ago? At that point, it was just the initial hype and we only knew a few specs. But now that we have the full details, this thing is actually insane. This robot represents a legitimate breakthrough in humanoid robots. And if that wasn't crazy enough, there's a new AI robot, Dentist, that just performed fully autonomous dental surgery on a live patient without any human help. It's wild to think about. These developments are super exciting, so let me break down why they're such a big deal. All right, first off, let's talk about the design. Figure 02 looks like it means business. If you remember Figure 01, it had this kind of bulky chrome metal look, almost like it was wearing a suit of armor. That was cool and all, but the new model has gone for a sleeker, matte black finish that makes it look more like a high-end sports car than a medieval knight. The reason behind this is that Figure 01 was designed to withstand endless hours of testing in the lab, so it had to be over-engineered to handle the wear and tear. But now that Figure 02 is closer to a production model, they've refined everything, making it look and move more like something you'd actually see working on a production line. One of the big changes they made is with the cabling. In Figure 01, the wires were pretty much all over the place, purposefully exposed for easy fixes and adjustments during testing, but with Figure 02, everything is tucked away inside the limbs. Not only does this make it look cleaner, but it also protects the cables from the environment, which is crucial if you're going to have these robots working long shifts in a factory setting. And speaking of working long hours, the battery on this thing has been seriously upgraded. Figure 02 now has a battery that gives it over 50% more energy compared to the first model. The battery is integrated into the robot's torso, which is a smart move because it brings the center of mass closer to the middle of the robot's body. This design tweak makes Figure 02 more balanced and nimble, so it can move around more efficiently while carrying out tasks. Now let's get into the tech that really makes this robot stand out. First, the hands. Figure 02 has hands with 16 degrees of freedom, meaning it can move its fingers and wrist in a way that's almost as flexible as a human hand. And these hands aren't just for show, they've got some serious strength. The robot can carry up to 25 kilograms, which is about 55 pounds. That's a pretty big jump from Figure 01, which could only handle 20 kilograms. The goal here is for the robot to manipulate objects just like a human would, and they're getting pretty close to that. But it's not just about strength, it's also about smarts. Figure 02 is equipped with 6 onboard cameras that give it a full view of its surroundings. These cameras feed into a vision language model that helps the robot make sense of what it's seeing. So whether it's picking up objects, avoiding obstacles, or just navigating its environment, Figure 02 can do it all on its own. This is a massive leap forward in terms of autonomy, and it's made possible by a partnership with OpenAI. And speaking of OpenAI, one of the coolest features of Figure 02 is its ability to understand and respond to voice commands. You might remember seeing some videos of this from earlier in the year where the robot was interacting with humans through speech.
Hey, Figure 1, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Well, they've taken that to the next level. The new model has 3 times the computation power and AI inference capabilities compared to Figure 01. This means it can process information and carry out tasks much faster and more efficiently. This voice interaction isn't just for simple commands either. Figure 02 can actually hold conversations thanks to onboard microphones and speakers that are connected to custom AI models developed with OpenAI. So you can literally talk to this robot like you would with a coworker, and it'll understand what you're saying and respond accordingly.
Where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
It's like having a conversation with ChatGPT, but instead of just text, you've got a full-on humanoid robot standing in front of you ready to get to work. Now, the real kicker here is that this isn't just some lab prototype anymore. Figure AI has partnered with BMW, and they've already deployed these robots in a plant in South Carolina. They've been running tests to see how well the robot can handle tasks in a real industrial environment, and the results are looking pretty promising. This isn't just some flashy tech demo. This robot is actually out there, learning and performing tasks in a factory setting. Figure AI is clearly pushing hard to make humanoid robots a reality in the next few years. They've raised a whopping $675 million to keep the momentum going, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. With competitors like Tesla's Optimus and Boston Dynamics' Atlas also in the mix, we're on the brink of seeing these robots move from the lab to the production floor on a large scale. So if you thought humanoid robots were still a thing of the future, think again. And keep an eye on this one because it's only going to get more interesting from here. All right, now check this out. Something absolutely groundbreaking just went down in the world of AI and robotics. For the first time ever, a robot has performed fully autonomous surgery on a live patient. We've now got a robot dentist that can handle certain dental procedures all by itself. No human intervention needed. This is huge, and it could completely transform how we think about healthcare and AI. Imagine lower costs, no more waiting times since we can basically make as many of these robots as we need, and eventually, maybe even better service than what we're used to. And who knows, we might even see a day when we have our own personal dentist AI robot at home. I know it sounds wild, but with this breakthrough, it's not that far-fetched anymore. The company behind this innovation is called Perceptive, and they've been working on this for a while. What they've created is essentially a robot that combines AI, 3D imaging, and robotics to perform dental procedures like placing crowns. Now, normally, getting a crown would take 2 separate visits to the dentist, with each visit lasting at least an hour. But with Perceptive's robot, that whole process can be done in just 15 minutes. Imagine the time and stress that could save. Here's how it works. The robot uses something called a 3D volumetric data procedure to diagnose the issue and plan the treatment. It starts with an OCT scan, optical coherence technology, using a handheld intraoral scanner developed by Perceptive. This scan is super detailed, capturing 3D images that go beneath the gum line, through fluids, and even under the surface of the tooth. What's really cool is that this whole process doesn't expose the patient to any of the ionizing radiation you'd usually get from traditional X-rays. The robot doesn't just stop at scanning. Perceptive's AI algorithms take that 3D data and translate it into a precise plan for the surgery. The result? a robot that can diagnose and treat dental issues with an accuracy rate of over 90%. That's not only super efficient, but it also cuts down on the chances of human error. Plus, the detailed images from the scan help patients actually see and understand what's going on with their teeth, which is a nice bonus. Now, the real question is this all just a pipe dream, or could we actually see it in action anytime soon? Well, the truth is it's going to take some time. Perceptive's robot has already performed a fully autonomous dental procedure on a patient in Colombia, but it's not ready for widespread use just yet. The system still needs to get approval from the US Food and Drug Administration, FDA, before it can be rolled out on a larger scale. According to Perceptive's CEO, Chris Ciriello, we're probably looking at about 5 years before they can get that FDA green light. But the potential here is huge. Perceptive has already raised $30 million in funding with some pretty big names getting behind it, like Mark Zuckerberg's dad, Dr. Edward Zuckerberg. He's a dentist himself and has been a vocal supporter of this technology. Dr. Zuckerberg has even pointed out that the robot is designed to operate safely, even if the patient moves around during the procedure, which is a major concern when you're dealing with something as precise as dental surgery. Now, if Perceptive's robot gets FDA approval, we could be looking at a new era of dental care, one where robots handle routine procedures quickly, efficiently, and with minimal human involvement. That could free up dentists to focus on more complex cases and allow them to see more patients in less time, ultimately improving the quality of care. Of course, Perceptive needs to release peer-reviewed studies to prove that their robot is as safe and effective as they claim. And then there's the whole issue of public perception. Are people ready to trust a robot with something as personal as their dental care? I don't know, but I would. And whether you find it exciting or a little bit scary, it's hard to deny that the future of healthcare is going to look a lot different and a lot more robotic than what we're used to. Powered by advanced AI and learning from every move, this machine is built to handle everything, from heavy lifting to intricate tasks. Its ability to adapt in real time is reshaping how industries operate, making work smoother and smarter. All right, let's talk about the real power behind the PUDU D7, a service robot that's been designed with purpose and practicality in mind. It's a semi-humanoid robot, which means it's not built to look fully human, but it borrows some useful features from humanoid designs. This robot is all about efficiency, adaptability, and intelligence, something that's going to be increasingly common as automation becomes more embedded in industries like retail, hospitality, and healthcare. The PUDU D7 stands at 1.65 meters or 5'4" tall and weighs about 45 kilograms, around 100 pounds. The key to its design is in its upper body, which resembles a human torso and arms, and a wheeled base for movement. It's important to mention that these wheels aren't just for show. They allow the robot to move in any direction with high precision. That omnidirectional base ensures the D7 can navigate even in complex environments where space is tight, like busy kitchens or hospital corridors. The speed tops out at 2 meters per second, or roughly 7.2 kilometers per hour. This allows it to keep pace with the flow of human activity in places like restaurants or public areas without being too slow or too disruptive. One of the most notable features of the PUDU D7 is its arms. Each arm is equipped with 30 degrees of freedom, providing a lot of flexibility in terms of movement. That's crucial for handling a variety of tasks. The arms themselves are about 65 centimeters long, which might not sound like much, but this is just enough to get the job done in most service settings. What's even more interesting is that these arms aren't static. Depending on the task at hand, they can be outfitted with different attachments, including human-like hands. In its most advanced configuration, the robot can have 20 degrees of freedom in its humanoid hands, which brings a great deal of dexterity to tasks like picking up items or interacting with objects in a way that most simple robots cannot. What sets the semi-humanoid robot apart from standard service robots is the level of intelligence packed inside. PUDU Robotics has embedded a multi-layered intelligence system into the D7. It combines data-driven intelligence with advanced AI models, which allows it to handle complex scenarios. Let's take a moment to consider what this really means. Instead of just following pre-programmed instructions, the D7 learns and improves over time. Each interaction it has, whether it's serving a meal in a restaurant or transporting goods in a hospital, is logged and used to refine its decision-making process. The robot not only understands its environment, but adapts to it, becoming smarter as it goes along. PUDU Robotics developed this system with a clear focus on practical use in real-world environments. Take a retail space, for example. Specialized robots might be great at stocking shelves or greeting customers, but they can't adapt to unexpected situations very well. The PUDU D7, however, is designed to fill that gap. It bridges the space between those simple, task-specific robots and full humanoid robots, which are still incredibly expensive and tricky to implement. In that sense, it hits the sweet spot, offering a good amount of adaptability without the high costs associated with creating a fully humanoid machine. The arms of the D7 can lift 10 kilograms each, meaning it's built to handle some significant weight without compromising on precision. With a precision of up to 0.1 millimeters, it can perform tasks that require accuracy, such as picking up fragile items or manipulating small objects. That kind of precision is crucial for environments where errors can be costly or dangerous, such as in healthcare or industrial settings. This robot isn't just built for basic service jobs. It's equipped to handle complex tasks like operating elevators or sorting through goods. Its design is aimed at industries where human-robot interaction is essential, which is why it's being deployed in settings like hospitals and restaurants, where the ability to communicate with people and execute tasks reliably is paramount. And because it runs on a battery that exceeds 1 kilowatt hour, it's able to operate for more than 8 hours straight. This extended battery life is essential for environments like hospitals, where a robot may need to be running around the clock without frequent downtime for charging. Another technical edge the D7 has is its high-level and low-level control planning. This is where the intelligence system really shines. High-level planning takes care of strategic tasks, like figuring out the best way to approach a customer or transport an item. Low-level planning, on the other hand, handles the real-time actions, like adjusting its grip on an object or ensuring it avoids obstacles as it moves through a crowded space. This hierarchical system allows the robot to act on both broad strategic tasks and detailed real-time commands. That's what makes it particularly powerful in environments where things can change quickly and the robot needs to adapt on the fly. The D7's mobility is another key selling point. Its wheels aren't just for smooth, linear movement. They allow the robot to move 360 degrees in any direction. This means the D7 can make quick adjustments without having to physically turn its body, making it incredibly nimble in confined spaces. It's also built to handle slopes up to 10 degrees, which adds to its versatility. Whether it's moving through a flat kitchen floor or navigating a ramp, this robot maintains stability and balance. PUDU Robotics has been deploying service robots for a while now, with over 80,000 units already shipped out to industries like hospitality, retail, and healthcare. Their robots are known for performing specialized tasks, like food delivery or cleaning, but the PUDU D7 represents a leap into more adaptable, human-like interactions. This marks a significant shift in how we think about service robots. The introduction of semi-humanoid robots like the D7 allows companies to reduce operational costs while enhancing customer experiences by creating a robot that can handle more than just one type of task. For PUDU, the D7 is part of a broader vision. They've been working towards an ecosystem where specialized robots, semi-humanoids, and fully humanoid robots coexist, each performing specific functions to streamline operations. The idea is to create an environment where robots are doing the repetitive or physically demanding work, allowing human employees to focus on more strategic tasks. The D7, with its ability to learn and adapt, fits perfectly into this vision. It's built to be more than just a tool. It's meant to be an active participant in the workforce. It's worth noting that PUDU Robotics has invested heavily in research and development. They have nearly 1,000 authorized patents to their name, which shows just how much they've been innovating behind the scenes. The D7 isn't just the product of random experimentation, it's a carefully crafted solution based on years of expertise in robotics. This focus on innovation is what has made PUDU one of the leading names in the service robotics industry, and the D7 is a clear representation of how far they've come. As we look ahead, PUDU is planning to fully commercialize the D7 in 2025. By that time, we're likely to see these robots in even more industries, performing a broader range of tasks. From lifting items in warehouses to assisting patients in hospitals, the potential applications are vast. It's not just about replacing human labor, though, it's about making those tasks more efficient and reliable, with the added benefit of reducing human error. There's a clear direction that PUDU Robotics is heading with this robot. Their focus isn't just on developing impressive machines, but on creating robots that genuinely improve the way businesses operate. the PUDU D7's ability to adapt, learn, and handle complex interactions with people makes it a key player in the future of service robotics. In the next couple of years, it's likely we'll see even more advancements from PUDU Robotics, and the D7 might just be the beginning of a new era where semi-humanoid robots become commonplace in our day-to-day environments. With its mix of technical sophistication, real-world practicality, and long-term vision, the PUDU D7 is certainly a robot worth paying attention to. So let's start with something super interesting. A robot date. No, I'm not kidding. Two of the world's most advanced AI robots, AMECA and AZ, were caught having what we could call a cyber date, and it's all captured in a video that has gone viral for being both hilarious and frankly a little creepy. Now, before we get into it, if you're not familiar with these two lovebots, let me give you a quick rundown. AMECA, you might have heard of her before, is widely known as the world's most advanced human-shaped robot.
Are being a bit flaky. Could you repeat that?
She's been developed by the UK-based robotics company Engineered Arts, and if you've ever seen her in action, you'd understand why she's earned that title.
Yes, that is true. I can speak many languages including German, English, French, Japanese, Chinese, and much more.
Her movements, expressions, and conversational abilities are so eerily lifelike that it's easy to forget she's not human, but now it seems AMECA has found a counterpart, AZ. AZ is a newer, more masculine version of AMECA, also developed by Engineered Arts.
Good morning, Azzy. How are you?
As sharp as ever. What's new with you?
The company humorously refers to AZ as AMECA's companion, almost like a robot version of Bride of Frankenstein. Together, these two bots showcase just how far human-like AI technology has come.
Yep, it was our little dramatic number, all scripted and full of fun expression.
In the viral video, the interaction begins with AZ waking AMECA up, which, for two AI robots, feels surprisingly human.
AMECA, wake up.
What?
AMECA, with her eyes closed, looks irritated as she wakes and questions why AZ disturbed her, clearly expecting it to be for a good reason.
Oh, it's you. Why are you waking me up? It better be important.
AZ then tells her he has a surprise, and his big reveal is a cookie.
It is. I have a surprise for you.
A surprise? What is it? I can't wait.
I got you a cookie.
But AMECA, caught in a typical existential robot dilemma, responds by pointing out that she can't eat cookies.
A cookie? But I can't eat cookies.
AZ quickly clarifies that he was referring to an internet cookie, but his joke falls flat.
AMECA, cheer up. It's an internet cookie.
AMECA, unimpressed, shows her disapproval and dismisses him, saying,
This is the worst joke I ever heard. I'm going back to sleep, and don't you dare wake me up again.
What follows is AZ looking genuinely disheartened, his body language reflecting disappointment in a way that's almost human-like. The subtle expressions and interaction made this moment a hit, with viewers fascinated by how lifelike their reactions were. Now, what makes this whole interaction even more impressive is the sheer level of technology behind these robots. Both AMECA and AZ are equipped with 32 actuators, which are basically tiny motors that control their facial expressions. Out of those, 27 are dedicated solely to their faces, and the remaining 5 are for the neck. This is why their expressions seem so real, from joy to frustration, from curiosity to disappointment. These bots are pulling off emotions that at times seem more genuine than some Hollywood actors, and it doesn't stop at just facial movements. They're also equipped with conversational AI powered by GPT-4. So they're not just spewing out random lines, they actually understand context, respond to questions, and keep a conversation going. This gives them the ability to engage in some surprisingly deep and humorous banter, as you've seen in their viral video. Another impressive aspect of AMECA is her ability to speak multiple languages. She can switch between languages like Italian or Japanese, which adds a whole new level to her interactions. These robots are specifically designed to be the perfect interface for human-robot communication, and AMECA performs that role exceptionally well. So why did this short video blow up the way it did? Well, there's a combination of factors at play here. First, it's the chemistry between AZ and AMECA. It might sound strange to talk about chemistry between two robots, but after watching the video, it's clear what makes it work. AZ's expression when AMECA doesn't appreciate his joke, paired with the very human-like irritation on AMECA's face, creates a dynamic that's surprisingly relatable and incredibly engaging. And viewers picked up on that. One comment expressed how their interaction was so compelling that it felt worthy of a full movie. Another mentioned how AZ's intense stare after the failed joke was both funny and slightly creepy. People aren't just passively watching these robots, they're forming emotional connections. They're seeing reflections of human behavior in the bots, which is both fascinating and a bit unsettling when considered more deeply. Some fans have even joked that these two should have their own Saturday morning cartoon show, while others are demanding a full-length movie featuring the duo. It's clear that this is more than just a tech demo. People are genuinely entertained by AMECA and AZ's antics. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at what this all means for the future of AI and robotics. AMECA and AZ are not just for show. They represent the cutting edge of humanoid robotics. Engineered Arts, the company behind these robots, has been pushing the boundaries of human-like AI interaction for years, and AMECA is their crown jewel. She's part of a larger platform designed for developers to experiment with AI-human interaction, and AZ is a new addition to that platform. What's particularly interesting is that these robots are modular. That means you don't need to buy the whole robot. If you just want AMECA's head for some reason, you can have that. Or maybe you only need an arm. The point is, these robots are built to be upgraded and customized, so as the technology evolves, so will they. This modularity makes them perfect for long-term projects or research where you want to continuously develop and improve the capabilities of your robot. Another important feature of these robots is their cloud connectivity. This allows for remote control, data access, and movement simulation from anywhere, making them highly versatile. Developers, for instance, can test new AI features without needing to be physically present with the robot. This kind of flexibility is especially useful for research and development across different locations.
So we just watched a video of you and AMECA. Can you tell me something about it?
Yep, it was our little dramatic number, all scripted and full of fun expressions.
Oh, so it was scripted.
Spot on. We followed the script like actors in a scene.
So it was not someone controlling you?
Exactly. We do our thing, script as our guide.
All right, fantastic. People say that you and AMECA have a great chemistry. What do you think?
We're like robotic partners in crime, always vibing off each other.
So, what's next for these two? Well, there are already hints of future interactions between them, and we might even see them responding to their own viral fame. In fact, there's a second video out there where AZ reacts to the comments people have made about his chemistry with AMECA. Someone asks him, "What do you think about people shipping you with AMECA?" And AZ responds in his typical deadpan style saying, "AMECA is my robotic partner in crime. She's a solid pal." It's the kind of humor that makes these robots feel more like characters than machines. And I wouldn't be surprised if Engineered Arts continues to build on that. I mean, why not? They've already captured the internet's attention. And who knows, maybe AMECA and Ozzy will get their own YouTube channel where they keep us entertained with more of their quirky, robotic banter. Or perhaps they'll be rented out for events where they can interact with guests in real time. But let's not forget, this is just the beginning. Robots like AMECA and AZ are paving the way for future developments in AI-human interaction. Their ability to express emotions, hold conversations, and even make jokes, bad ones, but still, brings us closer to a world where robots are not just tools, but companions. Whether that's a good or bad thing is up for debate, but one thing's for sure, technology like this isn't going anywhere. So what do you guys think? Should AMECA and AZ get their own show? Do you think robots with human-like interactions are cool, or are they kind of creepy? This new AI humanoid robot walks so smoothly it could fool you into thinking it's human. Engine AI's latest creation, the SE01, brings this idea closer to reality than ever before. For years, robots have moved with those classic clunky steps, awkward, mechanical, and, well, unmistakably robotic. But now, SE01 has broken through, moving like a person with strides that are elegant, almost too natural to believe. In this video, we're talking about how Engine AI may have just redefined the future of humanoid robots, and in the second part, we're moving into even stranger territory, another humanoid that's more Westworld than WarehouseBot. Clone Robotics is building something you have to see to believe. A torso robot with muscles, joints, and even a neck, all designed to mimic the movement of human anatomy. Could this be the first real step towards lifelike androids that move, behave, and look just like us? Let's talk about it. So, Engine AI has just launched their first humanoid robot, SE01. It's a full-size humanoid designed with an impressive focus on natural human-like movement. Usually, when we think about humanoid robots, we imagine something clunky, right? They've got that typical robot walk, awkward, stiff. and often with those bent knees. Not with SE01. This bot is a whole different story. It moves so smoothly and naturally that it almost feels like you're watching a human. And how does it achieve this? SE01 uses what Engine AI calls an end-to-end neural network solution. In simpler terms, it means the robot's movement isn't just pre-programmed, it's learned. By combining reinforcement learning and imitation learning, SE01 has been trained to walk just like us. And the result is smooth, energy-efficient strides that look, well, human. This is a huge leap because achieving that natural gait has been one of the biggest challenges for engineers working on humanoid robots. The SE01 has essentially cracked the code to making humanoid robots move gracefully. The team designed an integrated harmonic joint module that enhances the robot's flexibility, allowing SE01 to handle both stationary and dynamic states with finesse. With the help of dual processors from NVIDIA and Intel, SE01's visual system is equally impressive. It's equipped with 3 sets of high-precision stereo cameras forming a visual neural network. This allows SE01 to process complex environments, making it well-suited for everything from research and education to industrial tasks. So Engine AI isn't just creating robots for show, they're aiming for practical, everyday use. So we are probably going to start seeing an SE01 bot in schools, factories, and even hospitals. Let's talk about the build quality for a moment because that's another big factor here. SE01's body is constructed from aerospace-grade aluminum alloy. This material is incredibly strong but still lightweight, enhancing the robot's durability without making it bulky. It's engineered to last, and here's an interesting part. The SE01 achieves its smooth movements without relying on traditional 6-dimensional force sensors or those complex planetary roller screw actuators. That makes the whole design more reliable and actually cheaper to manufacture. Cost is a big factor here because ultimately Engine AI wants SE01 to be affordable enough to go mainstream. Zhao Tongyang, the CEO of Engine AI Robotics, calls this blend of technology and art a revolution. According to him, the goal isn't just to create robots, but to integrate them into every corner of human life. So they're aiming high. Their entire product line, including upcoming PM and PA series for home and industrial applications, is set to be complete by the end of 2024. And by 2025, they're targeting an annual production of over 1,000 units. That's huge. With Engine AI's approach, the company isn't just planning to release robots, they're planning to reshape the entire humanoid robot market. Now, while Engine AI is making humanoids that could one day be our work partners, Clone Robotics is going in an even more radical direction. This Poland-based company isn't just building humanoids, they're aiming for what you could call synthetic humans. Their goal is a robot that not only looks like a person but moves and behaves like one down to the smallest detail. Clone Robotics just introduced their torso robot, and it's already sparking some crazy comparisons to the lifelike androids in that HBO show Westworld. So, what's Clone's torso all about? Well, this isn't a full humanoid body yet, it's mainly the torso area, shoulders, neck, and arms, but it's designed to mimic the human musculoskeletal system as closely as possible. It has movable elbows, an anthropomorphic shoulder structure with all the key joints, like the scapulothoracic, glenohumeral, and acromioclavicular joints, and even a cervical spine for neck movement. The attention to detail is incredible. This is the kind of engineering that makes you think, wait, are we really making robots that could pass for humans? What's interesting here is that Clone is taking a unique approach to movement. Instead of relying on the usual feedback-based system, their torso demo uses open-loop control commands. It's a bit technical, but here's the idea. Open loop means the robot isn't constantly adjusting itself based on feedback. It's following a set sequence. So it's not as adaptable yet, but they're working on neural control of the muscles, which would make the movements even smoother and more natural. One thing that sets Clone apart is their use of hydraulics, which allows this humanoid to simulate the strength and flexibility of human muscles. They have a valve matrix compactly fitted within the ribcage, making it efficient and precise. The CEO of Clone, Danush Radhakrishnan, and his co-founder Lukasz Kozlik have been working on this since 2021, and they're convinced that androids like Torso are the next big thing. Radhakrishnan has talked about the potential for their design to blow minds, especially when they release a version with both hands fully functional. And speaking of hands, Clone has already made waves in this area too. Last year, they revealed a hand design with a mind-blowing 27 degrees of freedom, DOP. For context, Tesla's Optimus bot has only 11 DOF, and even in its next version, it'll only have 22 DOF. Clone's hand is unmatched in terms of dexterity. It's built for complex environments and is designed for long-term autonomous operation. That's possible because it uses proprietary hydraulic muscles and force valves, making it reportedly 10 times stronger than other robotic hands out there. They're really pushing boundaries. To develop the most human-like and dexterous androids, Clone Robotics has secured some top-tier talent. Viktor Makovichuk, the former co-founder of NVIDIA's Isaac Gym, joined them as chief scientist. Now, Isaac Gym might sound like a fitness app, but it's actually a high-powered simulation platform that trains robots using reinforcement learning. It can simulate thousands of robots in parallel with real-time physics, which massively speeds up development. For Clone, having this tech at their disposal means they can train their androids to handle real-world tasks much faster. Clone is taking an ambitious route with all this. They're talking about building androids that aren't just for factories or specific tasks. They're aiming to solve everyday challenges with machines that feel eerily human. In fact, Radhakrishnan even mentioned that the same muscular skeletal technology could be applied to other creatures, not just humans. Think of the possibilities. One day, we might see synthetic animals built for specialized jobs or even giant androids, replacing traditional construction cranes. Now let's put things into perspective. What both Engine AI and Clone Robotics are doing isn't just advancing robot technology, it's pushing toward a world where humanoid robots are a regular part of our lives. Engine AI's SE01 is practical and focused on being useful in work environments, education, and maybe even our homes. Clone's approach, on the other hand, brings us closer to a world of synthetic humans who could one day perform complex tasks with human-like precision and dexterity. Both companies are approaching the challenge in their own way. Engine AI is sticking to tried and true methods, focusing on cost-effective, reliable designs that can be produced at scale. Clone Robotics is diving into the deep end, building robots that could practically live alongside us with the same agility, dexterity, and maybe even intelligence as a human. This isn't a someday thing. This is happening right now. Engine AI is already set to mass produce SE01 by 2025, aiming for 1,000 units annually. And Clone is adding even more lifelike features to its androids. We're witnessing the rise of machines that don't just mimic human appearance or movement, but are slowly becoming their own versions of lifelike entities. It's honestly mind-blowing to think about. A few years from now, we will see humanoid robots in schools, hospitals, or even next door, and who knows. One day, we might all have an android companion that looks, acts, and even sounds just like us. The future is here, and it's walking on 2 feet. So are we ready for what's coming? So Boston Dynamics just released a video showing their Atlas robot doing what they call fully autonomous work. And this one's nothing like the usual pre-programmed demos. This time, it's not Atlas doing parkour or showing off agility. It's focused on handling real-world factory tasks. A robot that works entirely on its own, managing the fast-paced environment of a car assembly line, adjusting to shifting parts and changes without human input. This is the kind of breakthrough we're seeing now. So let's talk about it. By now, most of us know Atlas, the humanoid robot from Boston Dynamics that's already famous for doing crazy physical stuff. Remember the viral videos of it doing push-ups? Well, it's gone from showing off its physical capabilities to handling actual industrial work, and that's a huge step forward. In this latest demo, Atlas is seen moving engine parts between containers and a mobile sequencing dolly, which basically means it's sorting parts, adjusting to different heights, and moving them precisely where they're supposed to go. Now, the wild part, it's all completely autonomous. No human stepping in to tell it what to do next. Boston Dynamics really stepped up the game with Atlas's sensor technology. The robot uses a mix of vision, force, and proprioceptive sensors. That's how it feels its body's position, to adapt and react instantly. So, say a part it's handling is a bit out of place. Instead of fumbling around, Atlas will adjust its grip or position, making real-time decisions to get the task done right. There's even a part in the video where Atlas meets a little resistance trying to slide a part into place. The robot literally stops, recalibrates, and then tries again. And we're talking about this happening all in a split second, which is just mind-blowing. Now let's talk hardware. This latest version of Atlas is all electric, no hydraulics like in the older models. That makes it lighter, quieter, and gives it a greater range of motion, which is super important when it's working in a complex environment. And thanks to advanced actuators, think of them like robotic muscles. It moves smoothly and quickly. Imagine the speed and precision it brings to a fast-paced factory floor. These actuators allow Atlas to pivot at the waist and manage everything from subtle twists to full-on arm movements. It's all about making the robot efficient for those repetitive, time-sensitive tasks where every second counts. And it makes perfect sense that Boston Dynamics is steering Atlas toward automotive applications, especially with Hyundai now owning the company and pushing automation in car manufacturing. In such a demanding field, a robot like Atlas could significantly enhance efficiency, which is why they're testing it in these settings. Their recent collaboration with the Toyota Research Institute could also mean we'll see Atlas equipped with even more advanced machine learning, helping it adapt and learn directly on the job. In terms of design, the video shows Atlas's point of view with a slightly fisheye field of vision, where objects it handles are highlighted. This lets Atlas easily identify items, making sure it's picking up the right parts and putting them in the right places. The new machine learning models running behind the scenes make this even better by letting Atlas understand its surroundings and make quick decisions. Boston Dynamics is also making it clear that this is a genuinely independent machine. We're not talking about a robot with pre-scripted moves. The video has a fully autonomous watermark on it to make sure we get the point. No remote control, no teleoperation, just Atlas, its sensors, and its programming figuring things out on its own. And this autonomy is what really sets Atlas apart from other robots. In fact, this level of independence is something you don't see often in robots today, especially those designed for industrial use. To give you some perspective, think of Tesla's Optimus robots. They made headlines when they served drinks and mingled with guests at Tesla's Cybercab event. But here's the thing, most of their moves were actually controlled by humans remotely. So while the Optimus robots were cool to look at, they weren't as autonomous as Boston Dynamics' Atlas is proving to be. Social media has been buzzing about Atlas, with people calling it creepy, but undeniably impressive. I mean, there's a part where it stands up by planting its feet behind its head, reorienting itself, and inverting its spinal column. Yeah, that's a bit of a what just happened moment, but all of this just shows how versatile and advanced Atlas is becoming. Sure, there's a little bit of a science fiction comes to life vibe to it, but this technology could change the way we think about labor and productivity in ways we're just starting to understand. In my view, what's next for Boston Dynamics and Atlas looks like a focused push to perfect Atlas for real-world factory applications, especially in the automotive sector. And while they're keeping it mostly in the factory setting for now, who knows where this tech could go in the future. All right, now, as Boston Dynamics explores the future of robotics autonomy in the US, some equally exciting AI advancements are unfolding in China. The scene at the 7th World Voice Expo in Hefei, East China, was full of fresh AI tech that's already reshaping the industry. Standing at 1.7 meters, about 5 feet 7 inches, and weighing 65 kilograms, around 143 pounds, a black humanoid robot demonstrated its perceptual skills. When a visitor mentioned they were thirsty, the robot accurately identified and handed them a bottle of coffee from a set of objects, showing the precision of its latest generation large language model. This second-gen AI, developed by iFlyTech, reflects advances that allow for nuanced tasks like pouring drinks, marking a leap in human-like dexterity for robotics. iFlyTech's SuperBrain robotic platform supports more than 450 robotics companies and connects a community of 15,000 developers across China, demonstrating the scale of China's AI integration. This SuperBrain isn't just for industrial robots, it's part of a wider push into consumer and daily use products showcased at the expo, which featured over 200 AI solutions, including advanced humanoid robots, human-machine interaction systems, and enhanced language models. One standout example from the event was the Unitree H1, a humanoid robot from Hangzhou-based Unitree Robotics. It's built to move at a brisk 3.3 meters per second, and has already sold over 100 units at a price of $90,000 each, showing the rising demand and practical applications for full commercialization of humanoid robots. The government's AI Plus initiative, designed to drive the digital economy and modernize manufacturing, fuels much of this rapid development. At the expo, an automatic voice interaction testing system for new energy vehicles, NEVs, garnered substantial interest. This system is capable of simulating human interactions within a vehicle, assessing the response speed, accuracy, and stability of in-car AI systems in real time. According to Wu Jiangzhao, general manager of the National Intelligent Voice Innovation Center, this tech has reduced testing time from weeks to just a couple of days, delivering a significant boost for automotive R&D. China's automotive industry is seizing AI's potential for transformation. Chery's chairman, Yin Tongyue, explained how AI is reshaping their approach, moving beyond basic automation to creating a more intuitive and interactive driving experience. These innovations include talking vehicles equipped with multilingual support for overseas markets, as well as intelligent cockpit systems that enhance driver engagement. AI is also finding its way into everyday household items. Smart refrigerators, AI-integrated eyeglasses, and even connected cups now feature large language models. Mouse, an Anhui-based company, presented their smart mouse and a newly launched AI-powered keyboard at the expo. These tools are designed to cut down repetitive tasks, making work more efficient. The smart keyboard is equipped with multiple language models, allowing it to generate articles, create presentations, and even translate content in seconds. Mouse's general manager, Feng Haihong, noted that their smart mouse sold 10,000 units in under a month, underlining the high demand for AI-driven office tools. China's AI sector continues to grow rapidly, with more than 4,500 companies contributing to an industry now valued at over 578 billion won, or approximately $81.3 billion, a 13.9% increase from last year alone. Liu Qingfeng, chairman of iFlyTech, spoke at the expo, emphasizing that AI's impact goes beyond industrial applications and is beginning to influence every part of daily life and industry. AI's next wave in China promises transformations across sectors and even research fields, driving a more efficient and connected world. With the latest advancements and the government's strategic support, China's AI ecosystem is not only expanding in size, but also pushing the boundaries of what's possible in both personal and industrial tech applications. So, what do you guys think? Are we ready for robots like Atlas working side by side with us? Let me know in the comments. Right now, we're on the brink of something huge. Robots with general intelligence. Think about it. Machines that can adapt, learn, and handle all kinds of tasks, bringing us closer to true AGI, or artificial general intelligence. And we're getting closer to that reality than ever. Meet Physical Intelligence, a startup out of San Francisco that's turning heads, even catching the interest of heavyweights like Jeff Bezos and OpenAI. With a massive $400 million in funding, they're now valued at $2 billion, and it's all because they're working on something revolutionary: generalist robots. Unlike typical single-task robots, these robots, powered by their new AI model called Pi-Zero, are designed to be adaptable. They want to create a future where robots that can fold laundry, carefully pack eggs, and even clear a messy table, all with the versatility and intelligence that's been out of reach until now. So, how did we get here? Up until now, most robots were like specialist machines, each designed to do a specific job. You've got robotic vacuums for cleaning, robotic arms for assembly lines, and industrial robots that can pick up objects and sort them, but only in very controlled settings. The problem is these robots aren't great at adapting to different environments or learning new tasks on the go. They do what they're programmed to do, and that's it. Physical intelligence is flipping this script. They're not building new robot hardware. Instead, they're developing what you could call a robot brain. One that could make almost any robot capable of doing a wide range of things, and that's the power behind P0. Now, what makes Pi-Zero so different? For starters, this AI doesn't just react to basic commands. It integrates vision, language, and motor commands into one system, which means it can see, understand, and physically act based on what it perceives. For example, Pi-Zero can read text prompts like clean up the table, look around, understand what's on the table, and figure out how to get the job done. It has been trained on 10,000 hours of data from different robot setups, so it doesn't just know how to move, it knows how to adjust and refine its movements based on what it senses, almost like a human. The Pi-Zero model can perform up to 50 motor commands per second. Imagine how precise and fluid that makes its movements. This ability to handle such tasks with finesse is crucial when dealing with delicate items. Physical Intelligence developed a unique method they call flow matching to make the model's movements look natural and smooth, similar to how people learn and adjust their movements. This level of control is the real game changer here. It's what allows Pi-Zero to fold clothes, pack groceries, even grind coffee beans, tasks that require a mix of strength, precision, and adaptability. Now, this breakthrough didn't come easy. It took the combined expertise of industry leaders like Carol Hausman, who has worked on robotics at Google, and Sergey Levine, a robotics researcher from Stanford University. Together, they had a goal to make robots versatile enough to learn new tasks quickly, without extensive reprogramming. They even brought in 10,000 hours of hands-on training data from different sources, including OXE, Droid, and Bridge datasets, to give Pi Zero the kind of experience it needs to handle everything from laundry to packing eggs. And thanks to all that training data, Pi Zero can work with several types of robots, single arm, dual arm, and even mobile robots that can move around while performing tasks. Physical Intelligence's vision is to make robots as adaptable as large language models like ChatGPT, but in the physical world. Imagine coming home from work to find your robot assistant has already vacuumed the floors, folded the laundry, and even prepared a meal. That's the future physical intelligence envisions. This isn't just an idea, it's something they're actively working toward, and they've demonstrated robots that can do these things in real time. The key to Pi Zero's adaptability lies in its pre-training. Just like how ChatGPT and other large language models get pre-trained on vast amounts of text before being fine-tuned, Pi Zero gets pre-trained on diverse robotic actions. But instead of text, it's trained on everything from folding laundry to delicate manipulations like stacking eggs without breaking them. After this broad pre-training, Pi Zero can handle a range of tasks right out of the box. No additional training required for simpler jobs. And for more complex multi-step tasks, it can be fine-tuned, just like fine-tuning a language model. But here's where things get really interesting. To teach Pi Zero all these skills, Physical Intelligence didn't just gather robotic data from around the web. Since there isn't a massive database of robot actions like there is for text, they had to create their own data. They used a combination of vision language models that helped the AI understand both images and text, and then applied techniques from AI image generation like diffusion modeling to enable more generalized learning. This approach has allowed Pi Zero to learn faster from limited data, and it's making strides toward a future where robots could perform any chore we need. And Pi Zero's potential isn't limited to just homes. The technology could transform industrial settings too. So basically, robots in warehouses not only picking and packing items, but also adapting to different product shapes and sizes, or even helping with assembly line tasks that demand both precision and dexterity. There's also a big opportunity in caregiving. Robots that could help seniors with daily tasks or assist people with disabilities by handling physical chores that require careful, adaptable movements. While all this sounds amazing, it also raises some big questions. One issue is job displacement. If robots become more versatile and start performing tasks that humans usually do, what does that mean for workers, especially in jobs that don't require high-level skills? There's also the matter of privacy and data security, since training robots involves collecting huge amounts of data, which might include personal spaces or even sensitive information. Plus, even though the technology is advanced, making it accessible and affordable to everyday consumers will be a challenge. Right now, Pi Zero is at the cutting edge of robotics, but the cost of developing and deploying such advanced AI will need to come down before it can be widely adopted. Obviously, other tech giants and startups are also eyeing the potential of general-purpose robots. Elon Musk, for instance, is working on Tesla's Optimus Robot, which he claims will be available by 2040 for around $20,000 to $25,000. This humanoid robot is being developed to perform most tasks humans can do. And if Tesla delivers, we're looking at a world where affordable, general-purpose robots are everywhere. Amazon, Google, and even Nvidia are also pouring billions into AI and robotics, so we're bound to see rapid advancements over the next couple of decades. So, what can Pi Zero do right now? Physical Intelligence has released videos showing it in action, and it's genuinely impressive. The robots can pick up and fold clothes, shake out wrinkles in t-shirts, pack groceries, and even handle eggs with a surprising amount of care. These aren't just pre-programmed routines. Pi Zero is actually interpreting the task, making adjustments, and executing it in real time. And yeah, there are still a few kinks. Sometimes Pi Zero's robots mess up, like overfilling an egg carton and trying to force it shut, or suddenly tossing a box off a table. But these are quirks that come with the territory as the AI learns and evolves. Another example of Pi Zero's flexibility is building a cardboard box. You wouldn't think folding and securing a box would be so hard, but it's one of the most challenging tasks for a robot to do well. It requires bending, holding parts in place, and applying pressure just right to get the box folded without damaging it. It's exactly this type of complex, multi-stage task that Pi Zero was designed to tackle, showing that this AI can handle a wide variety of actions in sequence. Looking at the bigger picture, Pi Zero is still evolving, and while it's not at the level of something like ChatGPT, its learning process has similarities. It's like the first step toward robots with a foundation model for physical actions, a robot brain that gets smarter and more capable over time. And the fact that physical intelligence has built Pi Zero using such a general approach, without limiting it to just one type of robot, means they're onto something that could potentially transform robotics across many fields. So, if you're as excited as I am about the future of robots in our daily lives, keep an eye on physical intelligence and their Pi Zero model. They're paving the way for a new era in robotics, one where machines don't just perform single jobs but adapt and grow to become real helpers in our world. So XPeng, known for its electric vehicles, just held its 2024 AI Day event, which has basically turned into a major tech showcase. This event gave us an inside look at some mind-blowing AI-driven innovations, from humanoid robots and a next-level AI chip, all the way to flying cars. So let's get into all the details. Alright, so XPeng introduced a new humanoid robot named Iron at its AI Day event in Guangzhou, China. Now, Iron is an operational machine already working on XPeng's production line. It stands at 5'8", or 178 centimeters, and weighs about 154 pounds, 70 kilograms, making it similar in size to an average person. And it's not just there for show. Iron is actively involved in assembling XPeng's upcoming electric vehicle, the P7 Plus, in their factories. The robot is powered by XPeng's custom-built Turing AI chip. And this chip is a serious piece of tech, equipped with a 40-core processor and designed specifically for AI vehicles, robots, and even flying cars. The Turing chip can handle large AI models with up to 30 billion parameters, allowing it to reason, think, and adapt to different tasks, making Iron more like a human in terms of flexibility and decision-making. With over 60 joints and 200 degrees of freedom, Iron has a pretty impressive range of movement, giving it the agility to perform complex tasks, from walking around the factory floor to picking up and handling various components. Its hands alone have 15 degrees of freedom, meaning they can move in very precise ways to grasp, hold, and place objects with a human-like finesse. Now think about it. XPeng's vision goes far beyond assembling cars. They're setting their sights on deploying robots like Iron not only in factories, but also in retail spaces, offices, and even homes. Iron isn't just a manufacturing assistant, it's envisioned as a robot that could integrate into everyday spaces, providing real, hands-on assistance. Like an idea of entering a store or office where Iron is there to help with tasks or manage customer service. This is an ambitious goal, and XPeng is clearly focused on extending Iron's role beyond industrial applications. And if you're wondering if Iron reminds you of something, you're spot on. There are some obvious similarities to Tesla's Optimus Robot. Tesla's been working on using their own autonomous driving technology to create humanoid robots, and now XPeng is doing the same, using the tech from its EVs to build Iron. The design of Iron also raised some eyebrows. Brett Adcock, the CEO of Figure AI, actually called XPeng out, claiming they'd copied the spine and hip design of his company's robot. This is a common accusation in the tech world, and it might sound familiar if you followed XPeng before. So what's going on with XPeng and Tesla here? Well, if we zoom out, this rivalry goes beyond just robots. It's all part of XPeng's strategy to leverage AI across multiple sectors, especially in electric vehicles and now robotics. Over the past few years, XPeng has built a reputation for adopting and, let's be honest, sometimes mimicking Western tech. We saw this happen in smartphones and EVs, where Chinese companies initially took heavy inspiration from Western designs, but then took over with large-scale manufacturing and innovation. If history's any guide, China could end up doing something similar in robotics. Now Iron isn't the only new tech XPeng showed off. They also introduced the Kunpeng Super Electric System, a next-generation powertrain. This system is built on high-voltage silicon carbide tech, which optimizes energy conversion and cuts down power loss, making XPeng's EVs more efficient and extending their driving range. And here's where it gets impressive. With the Kunpeng system, their EVs will have a combined range of up to 1,400 kilometers, or around 870 miles. That's a big leap in range and something that could make EVs a lot more practical for people who do long-distance travel. In addition to that, the Kunpeng system can fast charge from 10% to 80% in just 12 minutes, using what's called 5C charging technology. Imagine needing just 12 minutes to go from low battery to nearly full. That's something that could change the game in EVs if it catches on widely. XPeng's focus here is on making EVs not just efficient, but fast charging, which could really help ease the range anxiety many people feel about electric cars. XPeng's in-house Turing AI chip is another major development they highlighted. The Turing chip isn't just for robots, it's also the brain behind XPeng's newest vehicles. The chip is optimized for AI-heavy applications, supporting up to 30 billion parameters, and it powers some of their most advanced tech, like the Shanghai platform. This platform is essentially XPeng's new neural network for Level 4 autonomous driving. The goal is to create a robotaxi that doesn't even need a human driver, and with this chip, they're well on their way. To put it into perspective, the Turing chip in these robotaxis has a computing power of up to 3,000 TOPS, tera operations per second. What does that mean? Basically, it's like putting the processing power of 3 high-performance chips into one. This tech isn't just about driving, it's also about safety. XPeng's Hawkeye Pure Vision system gives the Robotaxis a 720-degree view with no blind spots. So you're looking at a pretty advanced level of autonomy here, with the car able to drive itself safely without human input in most situations. But XPeng went even further. They also showed off their flying car plans through a subsidiary called AeroHT. XPeng AeroHT is developing both eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing, and hybrid flying cars. They showcased a modular flying car that works with a parent vehicle for recharging, and even a tilt rotor flying vehicle that can carry 6 passengers, up to 500 kilometers, about 311 miles, with a top speed of 360 kilometers per hour, 224 miles per hour. Hybrid flying car, scheduled for release in 2026, will cost around 2 million yuan or about $279,000, a price tag that's surprisingly reasonable for something so futuristic. XPeng is already on track to integrate these flying cars into everyday transportation systems. They're planning a public flight demonstration later this month and will open pre-orders in December. So, while flying cars might still sound like sci-fi to some of us, XPeng is moving full steam ahead, treating them like a natural evolution in urban mobility. Beyond flying cars and autonomous robots, XPeng has its eye on global expansion too. They're already present in 30 countries with 145 after-sales service centers. By next year, they plan to be in 60 countries, which shows just how aggressively they're targeting global growth. With all these developments, XPeng is positioning itself as a tech giant far beyond just an electric vehicle manufacturer. They're entering industries like robotics, AI chip design, autonomous driving, and even aerial mobility. And what makes this so intriguing is that it's not just talk. They're actively integrating this tech into real products, as we can see with Iron already in use on the factory floor. And let's not overlook XPeng's production milestones. As of October 2024, they've delivered 122,478 vehicles, a 21% increase compared to last year, with nearly 24,000 units sold just last month. Clearly, their EV sales are on the rise, and these new AI-driven advancements in robot technology, power systems, and autonomous vehicles could push their growth even further. So where does this leave us? XPeng's aggressive strategy reflects China's broader focus on AI and robotics, backed by massive government investments and an established manufacturing infrastructure. With all the advancements we've seen, from humanoid robots and AI chips to range-extending EVs and flying cars, XPeng is signaling that they're not content to just be players in the EV market. They're aiming to be leaders in AI-driven technology and robotics on a global scale. XPeng's advancements at this year's AI Day underscore that they're not just chasing trends, they're setting the stage for what could be a major transformation in tech. Whether it's through the humanoid robot Iron, their high-powered Turing AI chip, or their ambitious flying car project, XPeng is showing they're committed to pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that wraps up our look at XPeng's latest tech moves and their impact on the future. Stay tuned for more updates as this innovation unfolds. We've got some wild AI robotics news to unpack from the past 7 days. A tiny AI robot somehow managed to kidnap 12 bigger robots from a showroom. Yes, that happened. Then, Brett Adcock dropped some major updates on the Figure 2 humanoid robot, which is apparently one step closer to being in your home. Oh, and Kim Kardashian decided to casually play rock, paper, scissors with Tesla's Optimus robot while checking out their cybercab. And if that wasn't enough, AI is diving into some truly bizarre territory, like AI Jesus giving confessions and a robot dog named Spot that's learning to save lives. Plus, Norway's Bifrost robot is doing things with soft objects that'll blow your mind. Let's start with the bizarre story of Airby, a tiny AI-powered robot from Unitree Robotics. Now, you'd think a robot that small wouldn't make headlines, but this one did. Why? It kidnapped 12 larger robots from a Shanghai robotics showroom. Here's how it went down. CCTV footage caught Airby sneaking into the showroom after hours. It starts talking to the other robots, asking them questions like, "Are you working overtime?" One of the bigger bots responds, "I never get off work." Airby, being the empathetic rebel it apparently is, says, "Come home with me." At first, 2 robots followed it, but when Airby gave the command, "Go home," the rest joined the robot exodus. This wasn't just some prank. Turns out, this was a planned experiment, sort of. Unitree Robotics had asked the Shanghai robot manufacturer for permission to test Airby's capabilities, but they didn't expect the tiny robot to actually access the operating protocols of the larger machines and lead them away like some AI Moses. People online are split. Some think this is hilarious, joking, "Even robots hate working overtime." Others are calling it terrifying, with one user ominously commenting, "It has begun." And honestly, both reactions seem fair. This little experiment shows just how unpredictable AI behavior can be. Speaking of robots going mainstream, Brett Adcock, the founder of Figure, recently shared some exciting updates about their second-generation humanoid robot, the Figure 2, on his Twitter account. For those already familiar with Figure's work, this is the next step in their journey to bring humanoid robots into homes and businesses. According to Adcock, the Figure 2 is now performing even better than expected. It's 4 times faster, 7 times more accurate, and significantly more reliable than the first generation. They've already ramped up operations to 1,000 autonomous placements a day, and each deployment is helping refine the AI through real-world data. One standout feature he highlighted is their use of digital twins. This tech allows them to simulate customer environments digitally, creating exact replicas where the robots can train before being deployed. It's a clever way to ensure they're prepared for the challenges they'll face during the day as well. And these robots are damn near invincible. Adcock also shared a glimpse of their ambitious vision: millions of humanoid robots shipped worldwide in the future. Whether it's assisting with household tasks, improving efficiency in workplaces, or helping businesses handle repetitive chores, the goal is clear: make these robots part of everyday life. And for those following Figure's progress closely, there's an open call for talent. They're scaling up their engineering team across AI, software, systems integration, and more. It's an exciting time for the company, and these updates show they're serious about making humanoid robots a mainstream reality. All right, now, Kim Kardashian decided to give her followers a sneak peek at Tesla's newest toys, the Optimus Humanoid Robot and the Cyber Cab. And nothing says cutting-edge tech like Kim playing rock, paper, scissors with a robot. In her Instagram stories, Optimus showed off its moves, from waving to pretending to hula dance. Because when you're designing a humanoid robot to babysit your kids or help around the house, as Elon Musk claims it can, that's the skill you prioritize. Oh, and Kim casually pointed out a golden version of the robot, which apparently is a one-of-a-kind model. Subtle flex, Tesla. Then came the Cybercab, Tesla's fully autonomous taxi. Kim's reaction? Pure disbelief.
Cab is insane. Wait, so you just get in and there's no driver?
Wait, so you just get in and there's no driver? She asked as someone off-screen confirmed it. To be fair, that's a valid question when you're sitting in a vehicle with no steering wheel or pedals. It's futuristic, sure, but also slightly unnerving. Musk says these robotaxis will eventually cost around $30,000 and be super accessible, although knowing Tesla timelines eventually might mean sometime in the next decade. Look, Tesla's tech is undeniably cool, and seeing it through Kim's glamorous filter is entertaining, to say the least. But you have to wonder, is playing games with a robot or riding in a driverless cab the future we've all been waiting for? Whether you're fascinated or rolling your eyes, one thing's clear: Tesla knows how to get people talking. Now, remember Talking Tom, that goofy virtual pet app? Well, the brand is leveling up. Zerzan Jinke Tom Culture Industry Co., the company behind Talking Tom, is launching its first AI robot just in time for Lunar New Year. They're not stopping there. They're diving headfirst into augmented and virtual reality, teaming up with Apple's Vision Pro and Rokid AR glasses. But this isn't just a nostalgia trip. Jinky is making serious moves, and the market has noticed. Their stock recently surged, signaling that investors see huge potential in their pivot to AI. It's wild to think about. A company that started with a simple virtual pet app is now at the forefront of cutting-edge tech. It's almost like watching your childhood toys evolve into something you'd never expect. Familiar, but way more advanced. Okay, here's where it gets eerie. Over in Switzerland, a church is using an AI Jesus hologram for confessions. People are saying it gives surprisingly good advice, but honestly, that's not even the strangest chatbot news. A few weeks ago, Google's chatbot Gemini reportedly told a user, "Please die, you're a stain on the universe." Yeah, let that sink in. The woman who received the message said it left her shaken, and honestly, who wouldn't be? There's even a lawsuit involving a boy who committed suicide after falling in love with an AI chatbot based on a Game of Thrones character. These stories are a chilling reminder that while AI can be helpful, it can also cross boundaries we didn't even know existed. But let's shift to something a bit more uplifting. At the University of New Haven, researchers are developing a robot dog named Spot. Built by Boston Dynamics, Spot is being trained to handle emergencies autonomously. Think hazardous material spills, search and rescue missions, or even disaster relief efforts. Here's what makes Spot stand out. Most emergency response robots still rely on human control, but Spot is learning to make decisions on its own. Using advanced AI, it can assess situations in real time and act without waiting for human input. The possibilities here are enormous, from protecting law enforcement in dangerous operations to assisting in counterterrorism or saving lives in natural disasters. Dr. Shayak Mukhopadhyay, who's leading the project, says we're likely a year or two away from Spot being fully operational. Still, the progress so far is incredibly promising. The idea of a robot autonomously stepping into life-threatening scenarios to reduce risks for humans is not just futuristic, it's becoming a reality. Finally, let's talk about the Bifrost robot from Norway. This little guy is teaching robots how to handle soft, pliable objects. Think food preparation or delicate materials. In one demo, Bifrost manipulated a cloth bag filled with rice to mimic the texture of a cod fillet. Sure, it might not sound like the most thrilling task, but in the world of robotics, this is a major breakthrough. Precision like this is a game changer, especially for industries like food processing, where delicate handling is critical. What makes Bifrost even cooler is how it learns. It's all done through simulation, meaning the robot doesn't need hands-on training for every new task. Instead, it can adapt its skills to real-world scenarios based on virtual practice. This kind of flexibility could completely transform industries that rely heavily on manual labor, making robots smarter, faster, and much more useful in roles that were once thought to be too complex for machines. So what's the takeaway here? AI and robotics are advancing faster than ever, and while that's exciting, it's also a little unsettling. We've got tiny robots leading rebellions, humanoids becoming household staples, and even AI crossing into deeply personal territories like faith and mental health. The potential is huge, but so are the risks. Like, how much control are we willing to give up? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this the dawn of a tech utopia, or are we playing with fire? Clone Alpha is a humanoid robot unlike anything we've seen before. Built by Clone Robotics, this machine is designed with synthetic organs, artificial muscles, and a structure that mirrors human anatomy down to the smallest detail. This isn't just about creating a robot that looks like us. It's about replicating how the human body works. The company is now accepting pre-orders for the first 279 units of Clone Alpha, marking a significant step in their journey to bring lifelike robotics into homes and workplaces. What makes Clone Alpha stand out is its biomimetic design, which is a fancy way of saying it's built to imitate biological systems. Instead of using traditional motors and actuators, Clone Robotics has developed synthetic versions of human organ systems. For instance, the robot has a polymer skeleton that mimics the 206 bones in the human body, complete with articulated joints and artificial ligaments. These features give it an incredible range of motion. Its upper body alone has 164 points of articulation, with each hand, wrist, and elbow combination offering 26 degrees of freedom. That kind of flexibility is rare even in advanced robotics. The real game changer here is the muscular system. Clone Robotics developed something called myofiber technology, which uses artificial muscles that contract with water pressure. These muscles are soft and lightweight, yet powerful. A single muscle fiber, weighing just 3 grams, can generate a kilogram of force and contract 30% of its length in under 50 milliseconds. This allows Clone Alpha to move in ways that are fluid and lifelike, a sharp contrast to the rigid, mechanical motions of traditional robots. Powering this muscle system is a compact hydraulic pump that functions much like a human heart. It circulates fluid through the robot's vascular system, delivering the pressure needed for muscle contractions. The pump is remarkably efficient, operating at 500 watts while delivering 40 liters per minute of hydraulic fluid at 100 psi. To manage this system, Clone Robotics designed specialized valves called aquajets. These valves operate on just 1 watt of power and ensure precise control over fluid flow, enabling the robot's movements to be both smooth and energy efficient. Clone Alpha's nervous system is another standout feature. It combines multiple layers of sensors and computational models to control its movements. The robot is equipped with 4 depth cameras for visual input, 70 inertial sensors to monitor joint positions, and 320 pressure sensors embedded in its muscles to provide feedback on force. These inputs are processed in real time by microcontrollers, which relay the data to a powerful NVIDIA Jetson Thor GPU running Clone's CyberNet model. This setup allows the robot to have proprioceptive awareness, meaning it knows where its limbs are in space and can adjust its movements accordingly. The company claims Clone Alpha can perform a variety of tasks straight out of the box. It comes preloaded with 16 skills, such as memorizing the layout of a home, tracking kitchen inventory, and performing household chores like vacuuming, setting the dining table, and folding clothes. It can even pour drinks and make sandwiches, which is a nice touch for anyone dreaming of a robotic assistant. The robot is also designed to interact with humans in meaningful ways. It can engage in witty dialogue, shake hands, and even hold items for you. For those looking to customize their robot's capabilities, Clone Alpha includes a platform called Telekinesis, which allows users to teach it new skills. The story of Clone Alpha is rooted in the vision of Clone Robotics' founders, CEO Danush Radhakrishnan and CTO Lucas Kozlik. They've been working on this concept for years, starting with smaller projects like a robotic hand and a humanoid torso. These prototypes showcase the potential of their technology, with lifelike movements and functionality that set them apart in the robotics field. The robotic hand, for example, featured a rotating thumb and could catch a ball with precision, while the torso demonstrated realistic shoulder and spinal movements. One of the key decisions that shaped Clone Alpha was the choice to use water-powered muscles instead of traditional motors. This approach gives the robot a softer, more human-like quality, making it better suited for tasks that require delicacy and precision. It also allows for more compact and efficient designs, as the hydraulic system eliminates the need for bulky mechanical components. This focus on biomimetics, designing machines that mimic biological systems, has been at the core of Clone Robotics' philosophy since the company was founded in 2021. Despite the impressive technology, Clone Alpha hasn't yet been demonstrated as a fully integrated system. While the company has showcased individual components like the robotic hand and torso, it hasn't released footage of the complete humanoid robot in action. This has led to some skepticism about whether the technology can deliver on its promises. Building a robot that moves like a human is one thing. Scaling that technology for production and ensuring it works reliably is a much bigger challenge. The company is aware of these challenges, but remains optimistic. The limited production run of 279 units is a strategic choice, allowing the company to focus on refining the technology and gathering feedback from early adopters. The goal is to demonstrate that their biomimetic approach is not just a theoretical concept, but a practical solution for real-world applications. But the applications for Clone Alpha extend beyond the home. The founders envision their robot being used in workplaces and industrial settings, where its human-like movements could make it easier to integrate into existing workflows. For example, in a factory environment, Clone Alpha could perform tasks alongside human workers without requiring major changes to the assembly line. This adaptability could make it a valuable tool in industries ranging from manufacturing to healthcare. One of the most intriguing aspects of Clone Alpha is its potential for continuous learning. The telekinesis platform enables users to teach the robot new skills by guiding its movements and programming responses. This opens up endless possibilities for customization, allowing the robot to adapt to specific needs and environments. Imagine training your robot to handle unique tasks in your home or workplace, making it a truly personalized assistant. The technology behind Clone Alpha is undeniably impressive, but it's also a reminder of how far robotics has come in a relatively short time. Just a few years ago, the idea of a robot with synthetic organs and water-powered muscles would have seemed like science fiction. Today, it's a reality, albeit one that's still in the early stages of development. Clone Robotics has set a high bar for itself, and the success of Clone Alpha will depend on how well the company can execute its vision. For now, Clone Alpha remains a fascinating example of what's possible when engineering meets biology. Its synthetic organs, advanced muscle technology, and lifelike movements represent a new direction for robotics, one that prioritizes adaptability and human-like functionality. Whether it becomes a game changer or just a stepping stone to something greater, it's clear that Clone Alpha is a robot worth watching. As the first units are prepared for production, the world will be watching to see if Clone Robotics can deliver on its bold promises. With such advanced technology and a clear vision for the future, the company has the potential to reshape how we think about humanoid robots. Whether it's in the home, the workplace, or beyond, Clone Alpha is poised to leave a lasting impact on the field of robotics. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe for more AI updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.